Welcome to your money and your life. Can you afford the lifestyle you want in retirement? Well, according to the latest ABS research, the number one factor affecting people's decision to retire is financial security. Andrew Baxter, founder of Australian Investment Education and author of the Wealth Playbook, Your Ultimate Guide to Financial Security, has 4 steps that could potentially double your retirement nest egg if you make some good choices. Remember, this is all general advice. Always make sure you get your own personal advice for your circumstances. Andrew, great to see you again. Now, a lot of people would be thinking, double? That seems too good to be true. Can you really do that?
It's most certainly possible, and I guess the key thing for retirement is everyone sees it as being so far away if they're at a younger stage of life, and then perhaps one day they might get round to it and they miss the opportunity to get started nice and early. Alternatively, sometimes people feel that they've left the run maybe just a little bit late, and as a consequence, well, it's all too late now anyway, and they kind of put their head in the sand and give up. And the advice I'd give is step 1, if you want to get that outcome and have a really healthy retirement nest egg, is start to get focused on your retirement right now, wherever you are in the journey.
Okay, let's start with the 4 steps. Run us through them.
So getting started and really making it a priority is the key one to get, is absolutely crucial as always. If you don't start, you never get anywhere. Secondly, I would suggest people really look at getting control. And we've seen a groundswell of growth, for example, in the self-managed super space, which often has been perceived as being, the land of the rich. And it doesn't have to be that way. The balances these days required to set up a self-managed super are significantly lower, maybe around $250,000, and that could be both you and your partner. It doesn't have to be yours on its own. And that then gives you a vehicle in which you have absolute control if it's something that you want, and then you can start to make different types of investment decisions, which is really where the process kicks off.
Okay, so get started early as possible. Take control. What are the other 2 steps?
The third step on there is to pick better quality investments, and I appreciate that's a very, very obvious thing to say. And the tragedy for so many people now, number one, we're living longer, which is, let's face it, a first world problem. But if you're going to live longer, you've got to have a bigger retirement nest egg if you want to have some level of dignity in that retirement. So you've got to get more cash when it comes time to that retirement level. So how do you do it? Typically, when we look at Australian portfolios, most Aussie investors have got a very, very heavy exposure towards the Australian market, which is a very, very small part of the global economy, and a relatively small exposure to the US. So why is it important to look perhaps a little bit further afield? And if we look at the average returns from Australian stocks, or indeed the Australian market over the last decade, it's under 10% a year, which on the surface appears, of course, to be a reasonable return. But when you're looking at companies that are in the tech space like Netflix or Lululemon or Starbucks or Tesla, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and the list goes on, they've delivered returns of 2, 3, 4, 500% over that 10-year period. Now, of course, a lot of investors shy away from investing overseas, seeing it's a little bit harder, or maybe the tech sector perhaps is a little bit more racy. But these days, David, as we all know, they're the stocks that we live and breathe. That's where we live. If you've caught an Uber or used your phone or browsed online or ordered something, you're in that space. And I think society has shifted enough that there's a long-term growth trajectory for those kind of stocks that people can be more confident and certain of.
Okay, so stick with the quality, look overseas, and the 4th step?
The 4th step on there, once you've got steps 1, 2, and 3 taken care of, is to contribute as much as you can. The more that you're able to put in, it can be very tax effective for people to maximize their contributions. And if you're able to get as much stuffed away as you can in assets that are growing, that you do have control over, you're very likely to see yourself in a position when you choose to retire, you've got a nest egg there that's going to allow you to live a life that you truly deserve and you can be proud of. But it starts right now. If you don't take these steps now, you put it off and one day get round to it, you never get there.
Yeah, some great steps to follow, terrific guidance. Andrew, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, anytime, David. Thank you.